best suit for the client. And so again, big shout out to him as well. And of course, Marcus, you're always up there too, my man. So anyway, other than that, guys, just got a lot of good momentum going. And I think everybody can feel it. And we're just, things are really starting to crank, and going to finish this year out extremely strong. So that's, and we got 2 new agents that are testing as of today, as a matter of fact. So going to go for their exam. So over to you, Mr. Pitts.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. First of all, I just want to say congratulations to everybody who had such a fantastic week last week. I mean, that was just amazing. My good news, personally had a pretty decent week, over 7,000 for the week. What I'm really excited about, some of the new people that I've hired, they're going through the process and they're starting to get their appointments with the different carriers. So had to start from scratch, but I got some good people coming up with me, so I'm really excited about that. But thanks a lot.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you guys very much for leading the way there. And we'll go over the recognition here in just a few minutes. But before we individually, collectively as a team, guys, very, very solid week. I think obviously what you do individually accumulates back into the team, and it takes everybody. It takes a village. We all have our expertise, our things we do well, just as reference to, Brian just going and doing a little research and sharing that information back. That's how we get stronger. That's how we get bigger. We get better. We'll have our challenges, but we'll have our victories as well, and we'll celebrate both. So congratulations to you guys for a very, very solid week as a team. I think we're number 13 overall in all of Velocity, which is third largest team in the entire country with FFL, which is the largest IMO in the country by more than $100 million. So think about that, being number 13, not where we need to be or want to be, at least from my perspective. But again, yes, just yet another fantastic week. So from that perspective, that is my good news. It's just awesome to see people writing business, new faces on here, people starting to get engaged. We had Amy Hillier that wrote her first policy yesterday, which we'll celebrate that here in a few minutes. Just seeing some new faces or names we've seen that are now starting to contribute, help their family financially and the families that are in their respective areas as well. So Andy, I don't think I told you good morning. So good morning, my friend. All right. And Jeff, I think I missed you as well. We see you over there, Andy. Thank you for sharing your camera too, by the way. Amy, anything you'd add? Good morning.
Good morning. No, nothing for me.
All right. So before we go into full scale, you guys know I like doing this. So you guys can start clearing your throats, get your birthday voice ready. These are in no particular order, but I am going to go ahead and do this. Some of the people are either testing or have written or maybe on the border, but I like celebrating stuff for people. We're with people. So I will just start at the top of my list here. We had a brand new agent, Zachary Cerna. If I butcher your name, you guys, I apologize. I went to public school. So Zachary Cerna's birthday is on the 27th. Madison Carr, birthday is on the 26th. Nick Linwindell's birthday is on the 9th. Brandon's birthday was on the 7th. Happy birthday, Brandon. Amy Hillier, his birthday was the 10th. Happy birthday, Amy. Walter Spann, who had a huge week last week, over 4,300. Birthday was on the 27th. New agent Christopher Flores going through licensing. His birthday's on the 30th, so coming up. Tim Jahar's birthday is on the 17th, so 2 days from now. We've got Destiny Stancher. I believe it's Stancher. Birthday is on the 16th. And then we've got Anthony Stancher, whose birthday is on the 8th. So I bet that's pretty fun. They just celebrated 8 days apart. And so we have a total of people that are either testing or partially active or active part-time. We had 12 birthdays this month, which is pretty crazy. So I would ask you guys to sing happy birthday. I won't do that this morning. But if you guys know any of these people individually, just please tell them happy birthday. And for those of you guys that are on, we hope you have a fantastic birthday. I know, Amy, yours is coming up. And then Amy Jenkins' birthday is actually on the 20th. So getting older, getting better, right? All right. Yep. All right. So we'll go over recognition, and then we're going to cover today the Aetna application. We're going to cover going into FFL Go, and then really our website, fflgenesis.com, clicking in through the Aetna site, and then going through the application very quickly. And then the reason I have not recorded Aetna and put it out there on YouTube yet, for those of you guys that are new, we have a YouTube page. It's just put out there for the agents, by the agents, really. Things that you guys are asking for, we record them so that you guys can have access to them late at night, early in the morning, or if you have insomnia, or if you can't get a hold of your leadership person, whatever the case is. So the reason I've recorded it, because I'll be taking notes today on the questions you guys asked and make sure I make those points of emphasis on the videos. All kinds of other stuff is out there as well on our YouTube page. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So one of my favorite parts of the meeting is the recognition, as you guys know. So I'm ready to go this morning. I got my tea going. I'm ready to rock and roll. All right. So HCMS, as you are getting your agent codes, please make sure you're taking those and putting them in HCMS. If you're new and you're kind of confused about what I'm saying, trust me, you'll get caught up very, very quickly. Some of the carriers, you have to, when you go to HCMS, some of the carriers don't require that you put your information in, or the information has to be put into the system by admin, i.e. Amy. We'll walk you through that process in light of going through major detail now. Sean, going on 2 months ago now, has put in a new bonus program. And the new bonus program, it starts at $30,000. So when you issue pay, and what we mean by issue pay is you actually go out and sit and help the family. And let's say it's $1,000 and you help 30 people that month, that would be $30,000 of issue pay premium. Sean will then pay you out $500, and they pay these out very quickly. It's usually the next week. You get these bonuses. These are non-charge backable bonuses, and the more you write, the higher your bonus is. It's pretty awesome. This is a easy, really, really simple, easy way for you to get 25% off of all internet leads. And this code goes till the end of the year. So you simply, if you're an Android user, it's the one on the left. If you're an Apple user, it's QR codes. You just take a picture with your phone. When you write the review, now you have to be a member of WorkSpots. Let me put that out there. When you write the review, make sure you screenshot the review before you send it in to Fabiana, because if you don't, there's no way of pulling it. Screenshot it, email it to Fabiana. Her email is on there underneath. Screenshot your review, and then she'll send you a code that you can keep and then that you can use for 25% off of internet leads until the end of the year. That will be December 31st, by the way. All right. So we have our next level training, which we had just a few weeks ago, which was absolutely fantastic. And it takes you all the way from buying a lead to dialing, all the way through what you do after you've made the sale, post-sale, sending out cards or gifts or whatever you're doing. That training is going to be coming up December 14th, 15th. I'm constantly, probably every day, every other day, posting it on Slack so that you can get RSVP'd. All you have to do is get yourself here, get yourself a place to stay, and we have everything else covered. Food, everything. So just keep your eyes on that. I posted it. I think it was the last thing I posted last night. In reference to meetings, I have a lot of people message me or ask me when our meetings are. This stuff is posted every single day. So before you ask that, just check Slack. You probably won't swipe any more than 2 or 3 times and see when the next meeting is. So we try not to inundate you guys all day with this stuff, but we want to make sure that you know where to find things and you know what time meetings are. Our meeting structure is extremely simple. Every Monday and Thursday, we have dial day. Nobody gets on it, by the way, for whatever reason. But you can hear people that are writing 20, 30, 40, even up to 50, 60K a week that are on there, and you get to listen to what they're saying. I don't know any better way to get better at dialing than to listen to what somebody's saying and then pick up the phone and start dialing. And you can even take yourself off mute and ask them, because you can hear the other side as well, and ask them, why did you say that? Or, you know, etc. So just, if you get a chance, 7:30, it usually goes all day, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. You can get on here and hear some of the top performers in the country. That's Mondays and Thursdays. On Wednesdays, we have an onboarding training. So if you're going through onboarding right now and you're like, this process is nuts, or I don't know what to do with this, jump on that meeting. 15, 20 minutes on that meeting will probably save you an hour of your life trying to figure things out. We're here to help you, but we're also trying to put these resources in place so that you don't have to struggle through it, right? And get frustrated. Every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern, any recruiting question that you have or onboarding question, we can answer it right then and there. And if you're wanting to build a team as well. Of course, today's meeting, we have different guests on, different guest trainers train on different products. Some of you guys might be asked if you guys want to. I think peer training is fantastic. So if you are interested in doing that, please let us know. We'd be happy to oblige you because we think you guys learn better from each other than just leadership, if you will. And then Saturdays, what we do every Saturday at 8:30, you can get on and ask any question about anything FFL, any questions about leads, work spots, carriers, lead strategy, phone scripts. You can ask anything you want. This starts at 8:30. We get going. People start asking questions. We have some standard things we go through, compensation, the FFL Genesis website, etc. But it gives you an opportunity to maybe ask some of those questions that you hadn't throughout the week, or things maybe you feel silly asking on some of the meetings. So we do that every Saturday at 8:30 Central, 9:30 a.m. All right, Eastern time. I'm going to pause for 2 seconds and see if anybody has any questions before we go into full recognition. All right, let's pop this thing. So our King and Queen of String program, for those of you guys that are new, it is people that have tacked together weeks in a row of actually protecting at least one family. So if we go down to the, I'll just call it the bottom of the list just from a number standpoint, Jeff Scott is 2 weeks. Nicely done there, Jeff. Joey Richard, 2 weeks. Christy Polsak, 2 weeks. Alex Vogt, 2 weeks. Ramon Santana, 3 weeks in a row. Brian Spagala, 6 weeks in a row. Our top performer, producer last week, Mariana Grawl, is 7 weeks in a row. Trent Moses, 9 weeks in a row. Gregory Pitts, guys, 12 weeks in a row. One more week, Gregory, and you'll be our next King of String. I don't know if you've been keeping track of that or not, but
and Corey, one
yes,
thing,
sir.
can you let Isaac in? He's in the waiting room, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
All right, and then Renee Barker, 26, just went over 26 weeks in a row. So Renee, your tumbler will be ordered this week, and really excited to do that. Congratulations to you, by the way. 26 weeks in a row, protecting families is just absolutely tremendous. It's fantastic. You're turning into a leader here. You're leading from the front. You're writing. You're recruiting. You're on meetings. You do all of it, and it's much appreciated. And congratulations on hitting 26 weeks. Got Mr. Belo, 34 weeks in a row. So Tim's just the another couple of weeks away from earning something pretty cool as well. And then we got Mark. I think I offended him calling him the great one, but I'm going to call him anyway. Congratulations, Mark, 38, which I know will be 39 weeks in a row for you. So get you over the next threshold as well. So if that number's correct, 12 people are actually on strings, which is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to everyone that is officially on the string program. In reference to numbers, as we mentioned last week, pretty solid week. It's almost a double up from what we did the week before. So just shows you what's possible when we kind of put our nose to the grindstone and go to work, I guess, if you will. Again, starting from the bottom from a numbers perspective, we have Mr. Paul Zimney, protect his first family. So Paul, congratulations. 409 there. Trent Moses, 489. Jeff Scott, 636. We got Mr. Ramon Santana, just a recruiting machine and writing business, protecting families at 929. Alex Volt, $1,210. So Ramon, I think you taught him too well. He beat you last week. Congratulations, Alex. Let's see, Brian Spagala, 1314, a total of 2 families protected. Ethan Ford getting back in the mix at 1323. Christy Polsak, 2831. Nice week, Christy. Joy Richard, 3606, 4 families protected. Walter Spann up in Chicago, 4331, all in one home. So well done there. Chosen writes his first set of applications down there in Texas, Richmond, Texas to be exact, $5,844. That's a hell of a way to get a career started here, Chosen. Congratulations to you, sir. Coached there by Mr. Tim Belo. So it looks like the master got the student last week by a few $100. Congratulations, Tim, on another solid week. And all you do, my friend, $6,019, 4 families protected. And here we are with the big boys here, number 5 and up. Mark Williams, $6,927, number 5 families protected. Mark, looks like you're starting to get some competition here at the top of the charts now on a weekly basis. Gregory Pitts. Gregory, fantastic job of what you're doing there, my friend. You're recruiting, you're training, you're developing, you're a great member on the leadership team. $7,369 with 4 families protected. And it's pretty cool to see you just week in and week out, you're starting to be up there in the top 3 every single week. And it's much appreciated, my friend. Renee Barker, a bronze week, $10,239. She said she would, and she did. 10 families protected. Renee, congratulations on another $10,000 week. Proud of what you're doing. And I know you'll be stepping up onto the leadership here team very, very soon. And we're excited to have you on those dials. And last but certainly not least, Miss Mariana Grawl up in state of Washington, $11,613. That's her first $10,000 week, have earned a a Genesis 10K jersey, 11 families protected. Mariana, fantastic job. Mariana, oh, she's probably not on because I know it's super early there.
Oh,
Are you?
I'm
Of
on.
course you are.
Don't
I don't
worry.
even know why I even questioned it. $65,988 and 59 total families helped. So, Mariana, I hate to put you on the spot again. We got a lot of new people on here. We've got some people a little long in the tooth, like myself and Tim and Mark and some other people. What did it take for you to go from the, and you've always been very consistent since you've been here. What was the difference between, let's say, a $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 week that you've had before to writing 11,000, basically 12 grand, if you don't mind?
Honestly, for me, I got into an office. That's what happened. I just got to a point where I wanted to just level up, and I knew I couldn't do that on my own. And so the closest office was 3 hours away, and I spent my last dollar in my bank account to get there. And so I did, and that just has really paid me back. And, it's nice having 400K producers around to talk to and to get advice from. And that's really fired me up. So I really encourage everyone to get into an office. I mean, it will just change the game for you.
Thank you for saying that. And guys, she didn't know I was going to ask her that. I kind of put her on the spot Wednesday, I believe, as well. Guys, it starts off with belief, right? And I didn't even know she spent her last dollar getting there. That's commitment. And I know your dad very well. I'm not trying to put me and Tim's personal relationship out there. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm not shocked at all that you did that, Mariana. Not at all. And I just want to tell you, congratulations to you. That's a hell of a job. You put the work in, but you're coachable too, which is a big, big thing here. But if you listen to the people that have done it before you, Gregory, you said this to me last week or this week. If you listen to the people that are doing it before you or that are already winning, it just makes it easy. This is a copycat business. Just follow the model that's before you and trust the process. Congratulations, Mariana. Congratulations, Renee, for being bronze members for the week. And then I know we just got some big weeks to come. So thank you. All right, here we go. So Mariana with her record week, 11,613. Congratulations. We got Miss Renee Barker, $10,239. Another just absolutely fantastic week. Renee, congratulations to you again. And then we've got Mr. Pitt, $7,369 to cover our top three. Again, congratulations for being bronze level producers with Mariana and also Renee Barker. Our top five so far for the first weekend, even though the second week numbers are being worked out, we got Brian Smagala, $26.49. So far for the month, we got Mr. Mark Williams, $27.76 issue paid. We got Miss Sharice Spacey down in Oklahoma City, $51.11. So just came out of nowhere with a huge $5,000 week. And there she is again at near the top of the board. Renee Barker, $57.58. And Mr. Tim Below, nobody's surprised he's up there with Team Worldwide, $63.10 so far issue paid for the month. Now, I'm going to give you guys retrospect. Hopefully, I'm not going to scroll back up for time's sake, but we did $65,000 submitted last week. We issue paid for all of last month. This number's a little bit off, but let's just call it what's on the screen, 103,000. So we submitted 75% of what we issued all of last month. And that's contributed to you guys attending meetings, you guys plugging in, you guys, just doing what you need to do. So it's just fantastic what you guys are doing. And just think of the people that are being helped and you guys helping yourselves financially. In reference to issue pay for last week, just over 33,000. So, and I know things will multiply. We're on pace to do well over $200,000 for the month. Pretty cool. In reference to people that actually protected families yesterday, almost to the end, guys. Number 3, Mr. Pitts, $517. Renee Barker, again, $900 yesterday. And Amy Hillier writing her first policy, helping her first family up in the Quad Cities, my stomping ground, $1318 with 2 families protected. So you guys heard me just mention the level of production, if you will, with Mariana and Renee. So what I'm talking about is the levels, if you will, from a comp standpoint or your production. IP stands for issue paid. So $10,000 of issue paid business is a bronze level producer for the week or the month. 15,000 is silver, and so on and so forth. So we'll post this, but the reason I'm explaining it that way is so to make sure you guys understand exactly what this means. I already covered that. You guys are going to start to receive email from Americo So basically writing $45,000 worth of business, being in good standing with them. They're going to take your full issue pay amount on November 31st, I believe. I think there's 31 days in November 30th. I think there's 30 days in November. November 30th, they're going to take that number and multiply it by 8%, and you're going to get paid out a bonus the second week of December, right before Christmas. Pretty simple program that they've put in place. I don't know if it's just for us or across the country, but it's pretty nice. We had several people that got that bonus last year. If you guys haven't seen this, this is another one of those things that you can go to get yourself charged up. This is going to be held in Phoenix, Arizona, November 15th. It's just a one-day, all-day event, and basically getting you launched through the rest of the year into the first quarter of 2022, which sounds a little strange to say. You can see the registration there, registerlaunch2021.com. Also, if you haven't already, please get signed up for the annual convention. It's February 2nd through the 5th. It's in Miami, and it's where the Marlins play at, the Florida Marlins. If you haven't gotten set up, just please get yourself registered. Maybe some things will change between now and then, but it's better to have spaces filled. I think there's 22,000 spots. So it's better to be registered than to miss out and not be registered. So I highly urge you get set up on it. Very simple registration form to get yourself set up for that event. Work spots, what you heard Mariana mention just a few minutes ago about being able to go to any office in the country. She was able to go to that office, get trained by some superstars in the company because she's a member of Work Spots. It's $99. It covers all kinds of things. And I'm not sure if you guys saw this or not, but Work Spots is now a partner of Enterprise National Rental Car. Because you are partnered with FFL, you get 50% off of all rentals, which is fantastic because I used to rent a ton of cars, and it's nice. I'm getting ready. I got asked to speak in Oklahoma here in a few weeks and was going to rent a car. Now it's going to be 50% off just because we've partnered with FFL. So I know these things take a while. Are there any questions that anybody has on anything that I covered before we start the actual training? All right. Hopefully I didn't put you guys to sleep either. All right. Can I get a amen or something that I'm not by myself here? Woohoo! All right. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. So what we're going to go over today, I'm not going to read every single question on the application, but what I am going to do is just go through the highlights. And there's a couple things that I want to show you to make sure that you guys have an understanding. Some of you guys have never written Aetna, which is a really simple product to write. Or some of you guys don't even know that we have Aetna because you're not appointed with them yet. Okay. So very simply, all I've done is went out to the FFL Genesis page. This page was put together for the agents by the agents. So it was put together so that you guys have pretty much one resource or one place to go for training, to be able to go out and find out, where stuff is, what do you do when you're in the home, the sheets that you need when you're in the home doing the financial inventory, if you're getting a new license, if you need E&O, all of those things. If you recruited someone, the boot camp, it's all here, right? So quick thing here. When you're going out to work with Aetna, first of all, Aetna CVS, we're the only IMO in the entire country that has access to Aetna CVS life insurance program. That's pretty sweet. And it's because of our production, and it's because of integrity and obviously FFL. So on FFL-Go, there is not a link for Aetna. So what we did is we created one. So you're going to simply come out here and you're going to click on Aetna's page. Now, I'm going to take you and show you something a little bit backwards. That way we don't have to come back out of here, and it'll speed up the training before I put you guys to sleep. So on the final expense life grid, if you click on this, it's going to give you all the parameters, if you will, for Aetna. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go to page 12, I believe, 11 or 12. Page 12. All right, let me blow this up. Hopefully you guys are out on cell phones. This doesn't mess you up here. So Aetna Accendo, when you go out to Aetna, I'm going to show you something here really quick, and it can get very confusing. And the reason it can get confusing is just based off of all of the products that Aetna offers. They put their full product portfolio in one place. The only product that we can offer with Aetna is Accendo. They have another life insurance product called Continental or Centennial or something like that. This is the only one we have. There are no height or weight charts. So if you have somebody that's between the ages of 40 and 89, and you can get them up to $50,000 of coverage and not ask any height or weight questions. Now, the application, which I'll show you in a few moments, the application will tell you how much coverage they can get. So if somebody's 75, 85, 80 years old, they're probably not going to be able to get up to 50,000, but the application will tell you that, okay? So there's three main things that you need to know. And I'm gonna give you guys a pro tip, or an asterisk, if you will. Preferred. I never ever tell someone they got preferred rating. As you're going through the application, I'm gonna show you guys this morning, as you're going through the application will tell you what coverage they qualify for based off of how you answer the questions on the application. So, preferred level of coverage, immediate coverage with answering no to all the health questions on the application. Standard, still immediate coverage, answer one question in Part C. And then modified, return of premium if death occurs within the first 2 years. All right, does anybody have any questions before we move forward? Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna go out here, and now I'm gonna click on Aetna CVS. If I'm moving too fast, let me know. I'm gonna click on Aetna CVS. I'm gonna log into their system. Now, here's another little pro tip about Aetna. The first time you go to log into the Aetna system, your screen is gonna be shifted in most cases. You have to call Aetna. They'll tell you what to do on your particular device to make it look like it's supposed to look on here. Now, I just mentioned a few moments ago that Aetna's site has a lot of information on it, a ton. 99% of the time, you're gonna go into this one box on the top left-hand corner, but I'm gonna show you something that allows you to go in and actually practice their application. So the first time you're in the home and you have to use Aetna, you're not stumbling around. It is called the sandbox, okay? I'm gonna blow this up for a second so you guys can see it. What the sandbox allows you to do is just that, play around in the sand, right? That's what they created it for. It works exactly like the real application. It looks like it, it behaves like it, it does everything. The only thing you won't be able to do at the end of this practice application is submit it to home office for underwriting, right? That'd be silly anyway. We're doing a practice app. So I'm gonna click on Sandbox, and it's gonna pull up the information that you need for the application. So I'm gonna go through this very quickly. You guys can stop me at any time and ask me whatever questions you'd like. So I'm gonna use my zip code in St. Louis. And since I am over the age of 40, and aging like fine wine, I would say so myself, I'm gonna use my age, 7/16/75. So I'm 46. The effective date is today, which is the 15th, which is crazy. We're in the middle of the month. And then I'm gonna say I'm a male and I have not used any tobacco products. Not do I smoke cigarettes, do I use any tobacco products? So vapes that have tobacco in them, if somebody dips, all that kind of stuff, that is tobacco products. Now, here's where this thing gets crazy, right? Which product do I select? I'm going to hit view products. When I hit that, their full product portfolio comes up on the screen. And this is what I was talking about. Based on that person's age, it pulled up pretty much everything that they'd be eligible for. Now, little side note, the second one down where the purple check mark is, Centennial or Continental or Centennial Life, I believe is what that is. That is another final expense program that they have that we do not offer. What we have is final expense Accendo, all right? So I'm simply gonna click on the plus and it's gonna pull up that particular application, okay? So here's what happens. I was gonna purposely make some mistakes on here, but I'm not, I won't do that today. So you can see what comes up. That particular segment of what they offer pops up on the screen. Now, don't say this out loud because most of you guys are probably on mute anyway. What is the highest amount of coverage that you can apply for? It's 50,000. So I'm gonna put 50,000 in here. Actually, I am gonna do this. I'm gonna put 60,000 in here and then I'm gonna hit quote. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get the rates. So if you're on here and you're going, okay, I put the 60K in there, what's the deal? I always want to look for a purple dot because it will guide you through this application. I'm going to hit quote, and now you can see it's telling me enter a valid number for this before you can start the application. So you can go in increments of 1,000 up to 50,000 because that's the most they offer. And I'm only 46, so for them, I would be eligible for the full 50K. I'm going to change this to 50,000. Now you can see there was a red ring around that benefit amount. That is now gone because I put something in there that's favorable to my age. But now it's saying, what level of coverage would you like to apply for this person? So I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. If you have any paper, please write this down because you're going to forget this. Always, 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 I don't care who you are, until you just, maybe you get as good as Tim and Mark and Renee and Mariana or whoever, always choose standard. Here's why. They may have not told you something when you were doing the inventory, or when they're pulling their information in from the MIB, it pulls something that they maybe didn't tell you. So I always give the standard rate. So I'm going to click on standard level plan. Now, remember I said purple will lead you through the application. It's still like, okay, well, what are my rates? Now I have to hit add to cart. And now you can see the rates. Any questions so far, or am I moving too quickly? All right, I just heard somebody breathe in the background, so I know there's somebody with me, at least one of you. All right, so you can see preferred is $140 a month. Standard is $164.06. You can see there's nothing for modified yet. And then super preferred is $126.44. When I'm sitting in front of somebody, the rate that I give them is standard because the application will tell me what they qualify for. Now, another little pro tip here, if somebody does have Aetna's Medicare supplement, they can get 10% off this rate. From what I've been told, that 10% taken off does not affect your commission. So if they took $16.41 off this application, you're still going to get paid off the $164.06, which I thought was pretty cool.
Corey, can I say something about that real
Absolutely,
quick?
you can, please.
If you guys have a client that says they have an Aetna Medicare policy, I went through this recently. The card doesn't necessarily tell you if it's a supplement plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. So I would definitely, if their card doesn't specify, you need to call the insurance carrier to verify if it's a supplemental or an Advantage plan, because they do not qualify for that if it's an Advantage plan.
Great, that's huge. That's another pro tip. Thank you, Renee, very much. I knew that, but I wouldn't even have known didn't even thought to say that. Yeah, has to be a med sup. All right, so now we're gonna add this to cart. You got a purple button there, right? And the reason why you have to add to cart the second time is because let's say you don't wanna add the accidental death. I'm gonna go ahead and, accelerated death benefit. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Now I'm gonna go add to cart. And then I'm gonna have to scroll up here. We're just gonna leave it monthly. And now we have to start enrollment. So I'm gonna click start enrollment. And now I have to put the person's name in there. So I'm gonna call him Test Jones. Birthday 7/16/75, like we already had. Mr. Jones is a US resident. We're gonna go start enrollment. Remember, you're gonna look for the purple dots. Now, here's another pro tip. When I've gotten calls about this application, for some reason, it's because people have skipped around the boxes. So if you see on the top left-hand portion of the screen where it says plan eligibility, there's a purple line underneath there. If I go to 5 boxes over, or 4 boxes over technically, where it says payment information, and I click on that, it's gonna allow me to go in there. But now you see I've got red, I guess we'll call them tabs on the corners. You should never skip around in the application if you don't have to, okay? You should always go back through the information and go through the information as it is. I don't know why people skip around, they just do, all right? Any questions so far? And thanks again, Renee, for pointing that out. All right, so guys, I'm just gonna go through the application very quickly. You guys can all go through the sandbox at your own leisure and fill the information out as you see fit, okay? So I'm just gonna answer these questions. No, I will answer a couple of them, yes, just to show you guys a couple things as well. 2 things, because I've seen people do this as well. They thought they were in sandbox, but they were actually in the real application. If you look at the top left-hand portion of the application, in the purple, it says Sandbox Aetna. That will make sure that you understand where you're at, because the real app looks exactly like this. All right, confined to a hospital, nursing home, etc. I'm just going to say no to these. I'm not going to read through all these, but I am going to slow down, if you will, on a couple of points. The first one is question number 3, because there's several sections of this application that will ask you within the past year. Okay, if it's been a year and a day, the answer to this question is no, just so you guys understand that. That is not just on this application, it's on every application. So I'll give you a quick example just because I was training on this last week. If somebody has AIDS, HIV, or ARC, okay, which is age-related complex. If somebody has any of that, the only carriers that are going to take them are the guaranteed issue carriers or Americo, but it's only after 10 years. So if they've had AIDS, HIV, or ARC for 11 years, then they still qualify for the standard coverage. So I know that might seem something very basic to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't get that concept, and they're putting people with the wrong coverages or wrong plans, if you will, where they could have qualified for something better. So the answer is no. No. Amputations, all that kind of stuff, no. And there's that question, AIDS-related complex, but here it says, ever. Have you ever diagnosed? We're going to say nope, nope, note all these, congestive heart failure, all that kind of stuff. Now, within the past 2 years, okay, so basically this is a cancer chemo radiation question. If it's been 2 years and a day since they've had chemotherapy, radiation, or any form of cancer, excluding basically skin cancer, then the answer is no. So we're going to say no. Here's another ever question. Have you ever been diagnosed with more than one occurrence of the same or different type of cancer? The answer is no. All right. Back to the 2 year thing. So you guys see what's going on here. They're asking a lot of questions with some pretty recent health history in the last 24 months. If it's been 24 months and a day, the answer is no. If it's been 24 months or 23 months and 19 days, the answer is yes. All right. We're going to say no to those for time's sake. Here's another. Within the past year, they're asking about heart issues, strokes, TIAs, that kind of stuff. For those of you guys that don't know, you'll run into this. If you're reading through the questions, a TIA is just a mini stroke. I get asked that question from time to time as well. The past 2 years. Now, I want to slow down for a second and show you guys this, because it even says it on that sheet that I showed you about the different levels of coverage. Section C, if any yes answers in section C, you are eligible for standard level plan. If no answers in section A, B, or C, you are eligible for preferred. Now I'm going to show you here in just a second. We started with standard, but as we start to answer the questions, the plan will actually flip on its own and it'll show you. Any questions so far? Because we're almost to the end of this thing, believe it or not. All right. So no heart attack stuff in the last 2 years. Nothing with the heart, no chest pains, no mini strokes, no TIAs, nothing like that at all. Have you ever been diagnosed? Parkinson's, MS, lupus, nothing like that. No COPD, nothing like that at all. Are we replacing? I hear people say replacing policies and all that kind of stuff a lot. Somebody wants to replace their policies on them, but I'm never going to do that. I'm not even going to call the carrier to help them do that, because you don't know what's inside their policy. If you're not really good at looking at those things, you can get yourself in trouble. That's why we have E&O. Now, I am going to show you guys something here really quick that some people will fly right by and they'll completely miss it. First, if I do this, you won't miss it when you're in the home. It'll speed up your process. Replacement questions. We're going to say nope. They currently have anything in force. We're going to say no. I'm going to go down here and they're not replacing anything. We're good here. Nothing to terminate there. And now, down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, it says next. But as I push next, it doesn't do anything. And you can kind of see it's clouded a little bit. Well, if I scroll back up, I've answered all the questions. All of the questions are checked. All of the boxes are checked, right? But on the right-hand side here, right in the middle of the page, on the right-hand side, there is a check eligibility. So remember when we talked about just a couple seconds ago when we were reading back and forth through the application, and it said, and I quote, where did it go? Right here, section C. This is what's going to happen. Remember, we quoted standard. When I hit check eligibility, it's checking to see all that information. Perfect. Now it's put another section out here, right? This is asking about the children. We won't get into that today. We're just going to say, no, we're not going to cover any of that for the children's term. And now you can see all the other boxes that were checked are still checked now that we've checked the eligibility. So they're checking to see if this person qualifies for preferred, standard, or modified. Any questions? Awesome. Now the next button on the bottom right-hand portion of the screen is not clouded. And it's going to take, I'm going to click next, and it's going to take me to the next page of the application. All right. So now you can see underneath the health questions, I got the purple check mark. I got the check mark on plan eligibility. Now we're into the health portion of it. So you can see there's nothing to enter in here. because they're not taking any medications. We're going to go next. Always follow the purple dots, if you will. So it's pulling the stuff up here for Mr. Test Jones. So remember, the application before was $164.06, if my memory serves me correctly. Now the premium is $140. So if I were to go back to that page, remember it showed the preferred rate was $140. Based on the way that your potential client answered the health questions, has gotten us to the point. Now, I personally would not tell them that they qualify for that yet. I'm going to wait and use that as my closer, if you will. As Renee mentioned, here's where they're going to ask the question: do you currently have Medicare supplement underwritten policy with Aetna or Accendo? And it clearly says it, Medicare supplement. Okay. Doesn't say Med Advantage, because that is something different. We're going to say no. This is where you put all that information in there. We're going to say no. And now you can see that it's changed it to preferred based on how they answer the health questions, and they are still eligible for the $50,000. Any questions? All right, perfect. We're going to click on accelerated death benefit. And now we're going to see the effective date. If you needed to modify the effective date, you can. I'm going to hit requote, because if I were adding the accidental death benefit, I'd have to requote it and add that $14 into there. We're going to let this update itself. And now you can see I can click next because I have a purple button there. We're going to say okay. And now you can see at the top the benefits plan. So now we have plan eligibility, health history, and benefit plan all have purple tick marks on the tab marks in the corner. So you've done everything you've needed to do there. Now, a couple really quick things. I'm going to try to fill this out really quickly. Let's see if I can make one up here real quick. Hopefully it doesn't blank that out, because I totally made that up and it did. All right, let me do this. Let's see, 9167. All right, let's see. Entering the socials in, they matched, thank goodness. Okay, we're gonna put an address in there. That's good. If you get yellow, guys, just change the last letter, take it off, delete it, put it back on. You wanna have just clear boxes here. And you only need, because you'll run into this sometimes, places, you can fill the information in if you'd like, but you really only need the information that has the asterisks above it, okay? Beneficiary, we're gonna go Mary, or May is fine, I guess. May Jones. Any questions, guys, as I'm filling out the application? Okay, we're gonna say May Jones is my child, 100%. I don't need her social or anything like that at all. We're gonna say May still lives with me. St. Louis, St. Louis, St. Louis. Zip code is correct. We need May's phone number. Put May's phone number in there. Make sure all these boxes are clear and they're not there. So we got that there. May is good to go. See, and if I click add beneficiary, it's going to add. If I go remove, it's going to remove the last one that's on there, just in case that gives you some headaches here. The owner, does the application have an owner who is different than from the proposed insured? No. We're going to click no. Next, because it automatically pre-fills that information. Now you can see they're saying the address you put in, we have a better one. All right, that's fine. They can use the one that's entered, or you can check the one that says the suggested address. Sometimes I will use the suggested if it's not, just to make sure they get the information, maybe match up with their system for whatever reason. Now it's going to load. Now you can see we've got 4 check marks: plan, health, benefits, and proposed insured. Any questions? All right. So now we're going to go routing number. Yep. Okay. Glad I did that. And let's see if this number works. Just for illustration purposes, it's going to make me enter it twice. And I always use this kind of stuff when I'm entering in for more of a like security stuff, like, hey, I'm on my up and up and got to get the information twice. And I show them how it blanks it out so they know I can't take their information. A lot of people are insecure about that stuff, which I don't blame them. And now I'm going to add the banking information. I'm going to click add. Hopefully it takes these numbers. Yep, we're in good shape. It says account list. down at the bottom, last purple line. Hopefully you guys can see that financial institution name. So it's got all the information in there, but you can see I still can't proceed. So where am I supposed to go? Okay, down there where it says the premium, EFT, and then you have a couple of options to make. Up on policy approval, I'm going to go in and select the account number that I just put in, and then the date that you want it to draw. So we're going to say the 15th, and it will draw the 15th of every month, EFT, up on approval. So now you can see the next button is now lit up. I can go next. It's going to fill in that box. And now the agent information is pretty much in there because when you logged into the system, it knew it was you. Now, it's going to ask you where you want this information sent. We want it sent to the applicant, right? Unless you want to do something different, it's your choice, because then they'll mail it to you. And then you're going to be responsible for getting it to the client. No additional notes to put in there. You can see we have a purple check mark or blob, if you will, there. Now we've gotten to the stuff here inside the box. Tess Jones, 71675, male, 46, zip code 63123 in St. Louis. Preferred plan based off of their health, 10/15/21 effective date. And then you can see monthly EFT on the 15th. The applicant is where the policy's going, and the premium is $140 a month, right? Anybody have any questions? All right.
Hey, Corey,
Yep, go ahead.
So he picked the 15th of the month. When does the first payment come out?
I don't know if it's got, well, yeah, hold on. Let me go back. First payment goes out. Let me go back one more. You tell it when you want the payment to go out. So you see initial draft. See it? Upon policy approval. Yep. And that is under the payment information section. Thanks, Paul, for asking that question. So we're going to go back here. We got all the agent information in. We're going to go back to the last half bubble, which is review and signature. And then guys, from here, you're just going to follow the steps. I could go through all this stuff, but it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. And you can actually go in and complete all the stuff here. So upload. And then this is one where you don't have to do, you don't actually have to do a signature. It's kind of weird, but start signature process. And then from here, you literally go through, click the buttons, and it sends the information in. The signature is literally clicking a couple of buttons. Any questions? All right. Well, my job here is done.
Hey, Corey.
Yes.
Corey.
Yeah.
Can you pull that screen back up?
There it is.
Hey guys, real quick. One thing to consider is you got some options there with the way you want to get them to sign. I always use the security question because what it's going to do is going to give you a drop down. It may, the father's middle name, it may ask for the mother's maiden name, you know, what their school mascot was. And that's what I use. I mean, I use mother's maiden name in everything that I do just to keep it simple. And so anyway, just know that that's a quick way of doing it and getting, you know, not having to, you know, go through the signature, especially if you're talking to somebody over the phone.
Yeah. Did you guys see what I just did on the screen? Anybody?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure somebody saw it. And then it's the same thing with the agent signature. So as quick as Tim was talking about it, I went through it. You just click the drop down, select the information, and then hit apply applicant signature. So you're getting their social, their address, their banking information. I wish more applications were like this, but I do get it. So thank you, Tim, for adding that.
Corey,
Somebody else had a question or something to add.
Corey, I have a quick question. Did you say that America will take somebody who's HIV positive if it's been over 10 years?
Yeah, I'll show you. Before we shift, does anybody have any more questions with Aetna? That way we don't have to come back in this screen and waste you guys' time.
Yeah.
I've got a
question.
quick-
That's chosen.
Okay, Renee, remember your question. I can show you very quickly. Yes, was that chosen, I think?
No, I've got a quick tip, Corey.
Yes, go ahead.
If you're new, or even if you've been here a while, if you haven't recently used Aetna on your tablet, before you go on a visit, make sure you can log in. They just did an upgrade to it a while back, and they had some bugs in it. for a couple months, but what'll happen is you won't be able to log in because you've got to clear out your cache and your history and everything, and then reset it up basically. So just don't get caught with your pants down on in a visit. Check that before you go, because I personally ran into that here a while back.
Yeah, and all you got to do, guys, if you run into that, Mark, that's a fantastic point. If you run into that issue, guys, all you have to do is Google, how do I get rid of cache on my Apple iPad? How do I get rid of cache on my whatever device you have? It's literally like 3 clicks of a button. It's super easy, but it will catch you off guard, because I've had that happen, not with Aetna, but with other carriers before. Thank you, Mark, for bringing that up. Somebody else have another question before we shift to Renee's question?
This chosen real quick. So how do you use the standard price in comparison to the preferred, like to kind of, let's say they did qualify for the preferred, you want to kind of give them that at the end, but how do you use it to, to kind of up the price and then show them that, oh, but you've gotten something better than just standard?
Well, as I'm going through the application, and I'm going to spin back to some people that are writing a hell of a lot more insurance than me. First of all, Chosen, thanks for asking the question. Second of all, congratulations on your first week, by the way. How I would position that is, I've already asked the questions from the inventory form, right? So if I've asked the question, the inventory form, I'm going to know most of this stuff, at least the big stuff anyway. You can see through the application, their main things that they're worried about, because this is really a final expense plan, is they're looking for heart attack, cancers, diabetes, COPD. Those are the main health questions, or TIAs, that they're asking about, right? So from that standpoint, if you know that when you get to the application, when you come out here and you start asking these questions, you're pretty much going to know they're going to get preferred. But what I do is I don't tell them they're going to get preferred, because they might tell me something going through the application. So I'll tell them they get standard. I'm going to keep that standard rate all the way, until I get to the end of the application and we get ready to start, writing the, or actually physically doing the application. And I might even screen, I don't know if you guys, any of the other seasoned guys do this or not, but once you get so far into this application, like here, you can't go back. So sometimes I'll screenshot it and show that to them, the difference between both of those rates when I was on that sheet, and show them, based on your good health, you qualified for the 140, not the 164. So you're saving $24 a month every single month moving forward, because this rate's locked in. It's level premium, level benefit. I use it as another closing tool if they start to go, oh, we need to think about it, or whatever the case is. Mark, Tim, Renee, Mariana, anybody, do you guys do it any different than when you're closing Aetna?
No.
No, not really. Everything you just said, spot on.
Well, that's good. I'm doing good this morning. Yeah, Chosen. I always try to, if somebody gets it, I'm always going to try to use that as leverage at the end. And it's a good thing. They're going to be excited. They're saving $24. They're saving what, $300 a year just because of their good health. I mean, let's get this taken care of today. Does that help, Chosen? Okay, I think we lost him.
Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. All right, any other questions before we? Yes, sir.
Hey, here's one thing that I'll throw in. Guys, grab a pencil and paper handy. Just grab a pencil and paper. You need to know these age ranges, so you don't come in and take a 65-year-old and try to get them 40,000, and you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So between the ages of 40 and 55, they can qualify for up to 50,000. Okay, so from ages 56 to 65, it's 40,000. And then from age 66 to 75, it's 30,000. And then from 76 to 89, it's 25,000. Just FYI.
That's a great FYI. Thanks, Tim. Takes a village, right?
You got it.
Thank you, my friend. 40 to 55 is 50K. 56 to 65, 40. 66, 75, 30K. 76, 89, 25K. 50, 40, 30, 25. That's how I would remember that. And then the ages will come pretty simple. 50, 40, 30, 25. Anything else, guys, before we see Renee's question will take 2 seconds to answer.
Also, if you're going to add accidental death to it, when they're a certain age, you'll see they won't even offer it.
Yeah, it won't show up.
Yeah, just will not show up. So don't go try to look for it. You know, if they're 76, you're like, well, where's the act? They want to. Well, they're just not. It's not offered at that age.
And if they want an accident plan, like we trained at the office yesterday here in St. Louis, you could then pivot to a Mutual of Omaha guaranteed advantage, which is an accident plan. And we'll I think I have a video out there on YouTube for that as well. But we can get into that more technical side at another time. Saturday, if you guys want to ask. It's a great time for that. Any other questions?
Yeah, one question. Overall, the advantages of Aetna versus some other carriers, what's the pluses and minuses?
I'll let the pros handle that one.
Oh, can I say one?
Absolutely, Gregory. That's why you're here.
My favorite one, no height and weight questions. I love it. I worked with a lady last week, 370 pounds. I didn't know it because we were doing it over the phone. We went with America first. When I asked her the question, I think I told Corey about that. And when I asked her the question of her height and then her weight, and she said 370, I already knew. And I went through to let America, say that they, declined. We couldn't go through with the application. Went right to Aetna. Boom, she was good. So that's my favorite. Anybody that the height and weight don't agree, I go straight to Aetna for that. So
that's awesome. I would tell you, Paul, height and weight. I would tell you that it goes down all the way down to age 40, because you do have some people will say, I just want a final expense plan because I don't want to have to do this again. So they can do that. That's the second thing. The fact that they can go all the way up to 50K if you're between 40 and 55, that would be the third one. The fourth one is you're going to find out right there on the application before you finish the application if they're getting preferred, standard, or modified. The fifth one would be that it's going to adjust the rate for you if they go preferred. So you don't have to do any of that. So it's going to tell you preferred, standard, or modified. That's the fifth one. And the sixth one is they are pretty lenient on COPD. Probably more lenient than any of the other final expense carriers in my experience, but I have not sold near as much insurance as some of the other top performers here. Anything else from leadership or anybody that's had any experience on maybe your top 5 or 2 or 3 things for, as a recommendation for Aetna?
I have a question.
That and also, guys, always remember, Mutual goes to 85, America goes to 85, Prosperity goes to 80. You're going to have that gap in there. I think I probably wrote 7, 8 policies of somebody who's 86 to 89 with Aetna. So, because a lot of people out there at those ages think that they can't get any coverage. And when they think, because again, if you look at all the carriers, and Aetna is just one of the very few that goes that high. And if they're 86 and above and they want life insurance, final expense, and they can get it through Aetna, I've never had one not get it.
Yeah. And I think, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I probably misheard you. America goes to age 85 with the Eagle.
Correct.
And it's age 80 if you're a smoker. Okay. I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question, Corey.
Yes.
It's Amy. And excuse me if this has been covered because it's early in the morning and my brain isn't working. But so is Aetna the only company, and you have to be over 40 if they're overweight?
They don't. Yeah, if you're over 40, they don't even ask. There's no height or weight chart, period.
Oh, so I guess more clearly, is there anybody else if they're under 40 in a weight issue?
No.
Okay, got it. Okay,
No.
great.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. Somebody go ahead.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, I thought somebody was about to say something.
Oh.
There is a carrier. I know you and I think slacked about this. There is another carrier out there. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying it's good or bad or indifferent. You get no credit for the carrier. You guys are all independent contractors. You do whatever you feel necessary. It's called Sons of Norway. I've never talked to them. Well, that's not true. I did ask them about their products, but I'm not licensed with them. There's several people on here that are. it's going to fit that particular category of what you're talking about. They're under the age of 40. You're not going to be able to really find them coverage anyplace else because their height and weight or maybe their health conditions. Sons of Norway is guaranteed issue. I've heard the commission level is not great. Not that that should be our main concern. The commission level is not great. And I think the programs are not that great either. But if somebody's really itching to get coverage and they're not 40 years old, that could be a reference. You can very easily go on Google and pull up Sons of Norway and be in good shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? You're very welcome. So you guys should start to pick this up pretty quick. Somebody's overweight, your brain should immediately go to Aetna Accendo.
Hey, another advantage is the digital signature for phone and Zoom sales. That's
Oh,
so
God.
much easier.
Yeah. You forgot all about that one, Mark. That's why you're the
Oh,
great one.
you mentioned it earlier, but it's good for that situation, and their app is really easy. I just
You can whip through that absolutely. And guys, when you practice these applications, you're going to get to the point. And I know most of us on here will say this, that Americo application or AIG, I mean, I can literally get, and not rushing, just having a conversation with them because I have most of the information from the inventory form. Yeah, I can get to that application in 10 minutes. I mean, it doesn't take any time, but it's practice. It's not going out there in front of the client and going, okay, I'm going to call my leadership person and say, okay, now what do I do next? Yeah, that's not going to be a good look. All right. Any other questions?
Hey, I'll end with this, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Guys, if you're just getting started here, take the time and go over the applications. Agent Cafe for Americo, Sandbox with Aetna, even Prosperity. Just go through the app. Just don't submit it on Prosperity or Mutual. Because again, you want to look like a professional. Again, we all have time. It's just the things we want to make time for. Take the time and just go through the apps 2 or 3 times so you're familiar with them, so you don't look like you're falling over yourself in there. Because if the client sees that you're not real confident or know what you're doing, they're not going to have a lot of confidence in you. And that may be the reason why they don't do business with you. Which is your fault, by the way. Absolutely, 1000%.
We all have control of that. Thank you for saying that, Tim. Thank you for saying that. I think you guys, you see this stuff, you see the videos, you're on the training. I'm sure some of us are drinking coffee or playing games on our phone or watching Wheel of Fortune, whatever that stuff is. You're like, oh, this isn't complicated. And you get in the home and those lights come on and it's like, oh my God. Now, what did they say? How am I supposed to do this? But if you practice it, you're going to calm that situation down, because once you make the situation easier. So I'm going to answer Renee's question. Before I do that, any more questions? Okay, very good. Mark and Tim, I know that was kind of your closing monologue there. Mark and Pitts, I'm going to come back to you guys, and then Amy, so you guys know for closing statements here from leadership. So Renee's question was, how did I know about AIDS, AIDS-related complex, and HIV? How did I know that Americo would take them? Okay, very simply, these are the final expense and term life grids. Okay, so when I click term life, the very first thing that comes up on the top left-hand corner, illness and condition, AIDS, HIV, and ARC, which is AIDS-related complex. For the Americo term, or what was formerly known as the HMS product, diagnosed within 10 years decline. So all the questions that you have, most of them are going to be here. Same thing with the final expense grid. Ever decline. So Mark, you're up. Any closing statements?
Yeah, let's just get focused and finish the month strong. I mean, what do we have left? 2 weeks left in the month.
2 weeks. Yes, sir.
Weather's going to cool off. It's just a great opportunity to blow things up. Those of you building teams, help your people, be available on the phone. Do whatever it takes to get them up and running quick, because as soon as they get their first taste of blood, they're hooked. You know, we can just keep them on track, help them every way you can. But it's great to see it. Team Genesis really starting to grow legs. A whole bunch of new blood working now, so that's fantastic. So I'm just excited about the end of the month, end of the year, actually.
Very good. Thanks, Mark. We appreciate you. Pitts, and then I'll come to you, Amy.
You know, guys, I'll say this. I really like being with Team Genesis. You guys are just amazing. And I just want to real quick, 1 minute encouragement. I know not every lead you're going to buy all these leads. Not every lead you're going to call is going to answer. Or you may call them. I already talked to somebody. Not every appointment is going to show up, whether it's online or you go to their house. It's going to be a whole lot of things that you could look at negative. Instead of calling somebody and complaining about, the leads and different things like that, call somebody positive. Now, me personally, I've talked to Christy Posak offline. Me and Renee, we were talking for maybe like a week or week and a half. We were just about talking every day, online, offline. Me and Brian, we talked, I think yesterday or the day before offline. Tim and Mark, I've talked to those guys. Me and Tim talked about an hour and a half yesterday. I talk to Corey every day. Talk to somebody who is doing something. Everybody who I just talked to, all those guys are doing it, knocking it out the park. So talk to somebody who is doing it, get some encouragement, get some tools, get some keys, get some tips, get something positive, because the success is out there. And rather than complaining about what doesn't work, talk to those and find out what does work. And we can all be successful in this business. So congratulations to everybody this week. Thanks, Corey.
Well said. And congratulations to you again, Gregory. I know you're probably one of the most humble people I've ever met. I know why that is, but it's pretty cool to watch you do what you do. And you keep talking about Genesis like you're not a part of it. You're a very, very, very big part of what we do. You really are. It's much appreciated. And that I couldn't give any better advice. And thank you. Amy, anything from an admin standpoint that you're seeing that we're starting to get a lot more questions on, or anything that we can improve on?
No, nothing that we're getting more questions on. I think we're actually getting better
Yes.
with adding your numbers to HCMS and, all that stuff. I'll piggyback on what Gregory said about just getting connected with somebody. And as I usually say, just stay active. I think Slack is the best place you can stay active, because there's a lot of encouragement going on when sales are posted. And I think that helps others that maybe might not be selling at the moment or are stuck in a rut or whatever. So yeah, stay involved in Slack, get on the meetings, even if you don't think it pertains to you, get on the meetings, because we always talk about things that aren't detailed in your meeting description on Slack. Somebody always asks good questions. So as always, stay active in Slack and the meetings.
Appreciate you guys
That's all I
very
got.
much. Leadership, thank you guys very much. Congratulations to all of you guys that protected families for the first time this week. We're here to support you. We're here to help you. We're constantly looking for ways to be more efficient and better. Please come to us and let us know, hey, I need this, or can you help me with this? If you fail at this business, especially here at Genesis, it's because you chose to. And I know we got chosen on here, so I don't mean there's no ill intended there. You've got people that are willing to help you. Guys, if you call me at 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm awake or I hear the phone, I will answer. If you text me or Slack me, I will answer. I promise you. Even if I don't want to, I'm going to. That's my commitment to you guys as a group. It's awesome to see the week that we had. It's awesome to see new people on here and you guys are asking the questions. That means you're engaged. And we're going to support that 100%. Thank you guys for all you do. Let's go protect some families this weekend, warrior time. Bye for
Corey,
now.
one more quick thing.
Yes,
10
sir.
seconds.
Yes.
Go to work spots. They 50% off all instant leads. I just saw it just now. 50% off for the next, from the 15th through the 17th. So if you're on work spots, get in there right now and get your code in there so you can get that discount code real quick.
You're the man, Gregory. Appreciate that, my friend. I'll get that posted out there too. Thanks, guys. Bye for now. Stay safe.
Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome.